kind of saw like Steph raise his arms, kind of mock celebration, but also celebration after this. Is it a sense of relief after all these losses? What's the emotion?
Yeah, in a long season, when you lose that many games in a row, you forget what it feels like to win. So we just tried to play with a sense of urgency tonight and see if we could come out on top.
Steve's kind of talked about kind of an excitement to get some practices in the next week or so. Like, how important in the course of a season is not only just a practice, but a practice where you guys can actually do work instead of rehab.
It's actually really important when you have a lot of new faces like we got with our team. It's been a lot of different guys in and out the lineup, and the starting lineup has changed a few times, and you just need to get those reps in practice. And we had a really good practice a few days ago where we just talked about how we wanted to play, and move the ball. And all of us within our team know that it looks a lot different. We feel the shots that we getting and how we playing, and we just got to keep building on it.
Chris, you assisted on 5 of Clay's 7 made shots tonight. What's it like kind of getting him going and what a game like this could do for him?
Analytics is crazy now. I would have never known that. We just hooping, and I tell Clay all the time, I've played against him for a long time. Every time he shoots it, I think it's going in. You know what I mean? And he's a big part of our team and everything that we do. Sometimes we're going to need him to, cause 2-3 people to guard him and find the next guy. But every time I'm pushing the ball up the court, I'm looking for him.
Kerr also talked about how when you're running the floor, it's less turnover with the ball, and said teams that you've been on, you've had that success. How do you feel about that statement?
I try to, make smart decisions or whatnot, but also making a conscious effort to make sure we push the ball and get the ball up the court, so it's balanced. It's kicking it ahead. It's trying to, put plays, on target. It's like a quarterback. You don't want to throw interceptions. Especially when you got the shooters and the scorers that we got on this team. I feel like, a guy taking a tough shot is better than a turnover.
Steve talked about how he needs to remind Clay to let the ball come to him, to give it up and go move without it. It'll come back to you. As much success as he's had over the years, do you remind him of that?
Like they always say, shooters shoot. You know what I mean? Clay's a 4-time champion. He knows how to hoop. You know what I mean? And so I think with these games, and the more we all continue to play together, we'll get more comfortable with each other, continue to trust. But, I'm a guy who, when I pass it to him a lot of times, I'm yelling, shoot, let it go, because I didn't seen it firsthand many a times. But it's a process for all of us getting to know each other, and luckily it's a long season.
Chris, because it's so early in your tenure here, was it easier to kind of contribute with the guys who's struggling, Clay struggling, or Wiggins struggling? Is just because who you are, you're able to kind of maybe talk to them, or do you wait a little bit because you're getting to know them still?
It's a little bit of both. I always got to be who I am, but I am new, and I played for a number of teams now, so when you come into certain teams, you figure out, the voice of the locker room and how to move within that, and Draymond has done a great job, but I try to back him up. He backs me up, and then also you got to know when to listen. So we got a really great group of guys, and, we just try to feed off of each other.
It was 6 straight losses, but, at least from my perspective, it didn't feel too, panicky around here. I'm just curious your perspective coming in. First time kind of going through some adversity with this team, how you felt it has been behind the scenes.
It's been cool. I'm sure they ain't used to losing, especially at home like this, But like we said, I think everyone here is big picture, and we understand the dynamics and how it's been guys in and out, So we're going to try to find some consistency. We're going to keep fighting, going to Phoenix. Then I think we got San Antonio here. And then hopefully, by then we'll get GP and Dre back. Because I don't care if we win these games or not. If Dre and them not playing, then this ain't who our team is anyway. But over the course of the season, we want to try to get as many wins as we can.
I think it was Steph that said after Saturday's game that there was a little bit of a sense of urgency to get a win, snap that streak. Was there anything that was said before the game tonight in the locker room about the importance of getting the win tonight, or was it more just unspoken?
It's the same thing that was said before the last game. You know, enough is enough. And before that game, enough is enough. You know, at some point you just want to stop the bleeding. You know, so thankfully, you know, we won tonight. We want to keep building and going on the road.
We haven't seen an elite point guard such as yourself. So when you go 12 assists, 1 turnover, everybody's like, ooh, 12 assists, 1 turnover. Does it still do anything for you, or is
Nah,
it
I was mad when I drove and Aaron Holiday stripped it from me, you know, because I either had the float or I had Dario right there. But I think for me, you know, if you think about, you know, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, them type quarterbacks who got these elite receivers, for me, it's so fun bring the ball up the court knowing you got Clay, you got Steph. You know what I mean? Like, some of the passes I'm throwing to them, you throwing it before they even get there, you know, and they catch it and they shoot it and they still make it. You know what I mean? I know what I can do and I know what I can't do. And I don't shoot the ball like them. You know what I mean? So it's fun to play with guys that are slipping and setting screens or whatnot, and I think we're only going to get better.
They've been trying to keep you, I think, 28 minutes, 29 minutes, but this tonight, 34. There have been a couple other higher minute games. Do you feel good with that, and would you not mind at all if it was 34 every night?
Absolutely.
I thought. Conversation you have, or
I mean, we talk, you know what I mean? But I mean, I trust our training staff here, but I also trust the work that I put in, you know, day in and day out. You know, I train for this. You know, this is my job, just like the things that y'all do. So day in and day out, I prepare myself, you know, as best as possible for these games. So